Hello everyone. In this lecture, we can learn about the parameters of multipath channels from the topic of wireless communication. So here, first of all, we can see about the basic contents with regard to the parameters of multipath channels. We know that in wireless communication, when we transfer a signal from one place to another using antennas and try to receive the signal at another spot, we know that due to the obstacle present in between the transmitter and the receiver, the signal will be getting dispersed, and also delay versions of the signals will arrive to the receiver. So based on the kind of the obstacle and based on the type of the environment present in between the transmitter and the receiver, we can say that time dispersed signal will come and arrive to the signal. And what the channel will do, it will combine these all multipath signals coming on way to the receiver, and it will combine and it will make the version to getting received in the receiver. And when these things are happening, we need to know about one very important term that is called power delay profile. So power delay profile can be estimated anywhere on between this transmitter and this receiver on the way of the signal propagation. So with the power delay profile, we can able to estimate the reality and the signal strength and in what variation the signal is now at different levels on the way to the receiver. So the first parameter what we have is time dispersive parameters. So multipath, here we say that when the mobile as well as the station, that is a transmitter side as well as the receiver side, when both were on movement and when both were moving, we can say now this causes a multipath. So this channel is called a multipath channels. And here we can say about the time dispersive measurements. So here the time dispersive properties of the wideband multipath channels are actually estimated with the two main parameters, mean excess delay and RMS delay spread. So this can be estimated with the help of the power delay profile. So here we can say the mean excess delay is the first moment of the power delay profile. So with the power delay profile only we can able to estimate and evaluate everything. So here the RMS delay spread is the square root of the second central moment of the power delay profile. So here root means square with the delay, because in this scenario we normally observe the delay in the components arriving to the receiver. So which is the first component arrived to the receiver, from that point of view or from at that instant we will try to measure these all the various signals coming to the receiver. And here in indoor channels we can say the value for the RMS delay spread can be in microseconds and in nanoseconds, and in outdoor channels it will be in microseconds. Then another important parameter here is maximum excess delay. So it is defined as a multipath energy level which falls to x dB below the maximum multipath energy. So it may not be estimated based on the first arriving component, but what we say is the maximum excess delay. Okay, so that is we here point on. So all parameters will be estimated from the power delay profile concerned with that. So the formula we have for the mean excess delay, that is tau bar. Here tau bar is equal to summation amplitude of the time delay in the signal component, so ak square tau k by ak square. So same here with the RMS delay spread sigma tau, and that is equal to tau bar square equal to summation p of tau k into tau k square divided by p of tau k. So p of tau k is the power level of the delay component, and this is the square of it, that is tau k square. So these were the two formulas which we use here to estimate the parameters. Then how is the maximum delay spread calculated? Then we know that maximum delay time spread is the total time interval during which the reflections with significant energy arrive. Or we can say that from the arrival of the first signal, from that we can able to estimate the difference between the first and the last. So we can say maximum delay where it observed in the real time. So with that we can able to calculate. And RMS delay spread will be the standard deviation value of the delay caused by the reflections, and its value will be weighted proportional to the energy in the reflected waves, because we know that in between the transmitter and the receiver on various measures we can observe there will be some the cause for the multipath. So from this graph we can able to understand clearly about these parameters and its estimation. So what we have is power delay profile, and this is the power delay graph. It's a plot, and in this y-axis we can see there is a received signal power in decibel unit, and in the x-axis we have the excess delay in nanoseconds. So we can say this can be in the indoor environment. This graph has been made from indoor environment, and here various peak pulses we can see. So this is a first multipath signal. This is another one. This is so in before we try to estimate the mean excess value, mean excess delay or maximum excess delay, we will fix a threshold level. So threshold level here, it is from this graph it is 10. So 10 decibel is the threshold level we have considered. Also in this graph you can see threshold level 20 dB also available, but when we look at this 20 dB, it's mostly with noise. Okay, so a lot of noise here, but here we can see the first spike from here. This is the first one above the threshold level of 10 dB. This is the last spike. So these are all the multipath components which we measure with the delay durations, so with various delay between them. So from this level we can say we can able to estimate the mean excess delay. So from the first to the last in between, the average value of the excess delay, that is calculated as 45 nanoseconds. And another thing which we can find is from the mean excess delay, difference between the mean excess delay and the maximum excess delay. So that way we can able to calculate the power value, that is root mean square delay spread. So it has been observed that that value is 46.4 nanoseconds. So here when distance goes on, when the delay time is get increased, we can see that in the graph the power level is getting decreased. Power level keep on decreasing, and below this 20 dB level we can observe is full of noise. Okay, so in this way they will measure the terms like mean excess delay, maximum excess delay, and RMS delay spread. So from between the difference between the first multipath component and the last multipath component above the threshold level, and that is measured as maximum excess delay. So these are the terms, important measurements we made from this power level. Then one more thing which we can observe here is for these parameters, that is noise threshold. So whatever the measurement we have to make from the graph, we need to set the level for the threshold. So the values of the time dispersion parameters depends on the noise threshold. So the noise threshold level in the graph which we have seen now is one area it's 20, one area it is 10. So here the level of power below which the signal is considered a noise, and this is called a noise threshold level. And in certain scenario, if we say that the noise threshold level is too low, then the noise will be processed as multipath and thus causing the parameter to be selected as higher value. So this is things which we consider when we measure on these important parameters from the power delay profile. So that's all in the class now.